Parshas Chayei Sora. This is a shmuz adapted from the shmuzin of Moran Hagoin Rav Chaim Shmulevich Zeichat Tzadik Livrocha. The pasuk says that Yitzchak Avinu sent Eliezer, his servant, to find a shidduch for Rivka. Eliezer was not a simple eved, was not a simple slave. Eliezer had greatness to him. As Chazal tell us, when the pasuk says that Vayomer Avraham el Avdoi Zakan Beisai Hamoishel B'chol Asheloi, Avram sent the elder of his house, the servant Eliezer, Hamoishel B'chol Asheloi, that was in control over everything that Avram Avinu had. He was in control of everything. That's the simple. Chazal tell us something very incredible. When it says in the Torah that Eliezer was Moshel V'chol Asheloi, that Chazal interpret that to mean he was Moshel. He ruled over his passions, over his Yetzer Hara, kamoisai, like Avraham Avinu did. A servant growing up in the house, living in the house of Avraham Avinu, picked up greatness. Hamoshel b'chol ashaloi. He ruled over. He was in control over Avraham Avinu's house. That's the simple. But according to Chazal, he was Moshel b'yitzrei kamoisai. He ruled over his emotions, like Avraham Avinu. This is very incredible greatness. Also, we find that when Eliezer went, the Torah repeats when Avraham Avinu told Eliezer what to do, who to look for, and the whole story that's mentioned in the Torah, when Eliezer arrived at the home of Lavan, the Torah repeats again and again everything that Avraham Avinu told Eliezer. The Torah repeats it. Every word in the Torah is so holy, and the Torah repeats and repeats, because there's so much to learn from an Eliezer doing chesed for Avraham Avinu. There's so much to learn from his chesed. So Eliezer had greatness to him, and Eliezer's pursuit of doing chesed for Avraham Avinu is something that we can definitely learn from. One of the things that we can learn, as we will mention right now, and this pertains to every Yid doing a mitzvah, every Yid doing a chesed. We learn something from Eliezer telling us the proper way that we are required to do it. So the Torah says that Eliezer arrived in Lavan's house, and Lavan wanted to have some food served to him, to Eliezer, and Eliezer said, "No, I don't want anything. First, I want to make my statement." Before he can do anything, he had to make this statement. And the statement was, Vayomer, and he said, Vayomar, and he said, the first statement that Eliezer made, before he told them the whole story, which is repeated again and again, I have to make an introduction. Eved Avraham Onochi. I am the servant of Avraham. That's the first statement he wanted to make. And the question is, that seems to be totally superfluous, that statement. It's obvious that he's the servant of Avraham. Look in the next pasuk. V'Hashem berach es Adoni ma'od. The Rebbeinu Shalom blessed my master greatly, and gave him tzayin ubaka and kesef, gave him wealth and riches, and Sora, his wife, gave birth, and when she was old, obviously he's talking about Avram and Sora. So why does the Torah, why does Eliezer make such an introduction? Vayomar, and he said, I can't eat, I gotta tell you, I gotta make an introduction to what I want to say. Eved Avraham Onochi. I am the servant of Avraham. Totally superfluous, because from all the psukim afterwards, you see that he's talking about Avraham and Sora, that Avraham is Adoni, my Lord. So why does he make such an introduction? Comes along Reb Chaim Shmulevich Zechat Tzaddik Livracha and explains to us when Eliezer arrived at Lavan's house, Lavan said, Boi Baruch Hashem. Come, welcome, you blessed one of the Lord. And Chazal tell us that, remarkably, Eliezer looked like Avraham Avinu. Not only was he in control of his midos, of his Yetzer Hara like Avraham Avinu, he looked like Avraham Avinu. Chazal tell us, Shahaya Ziv Ikunan Shel Eliezer Doima Shel Avraham. And when Lavan said, welcome, Boi, Baruch Hashem, welcome, you blessed one of God, Lavan thought, Shehu Avraham, that he's Avraham Avinu. So when Lavan welcomed Eliezer, he thought that Eliezer's features, well, he looked like Avraham Avinu. He thought it was Avraham Avinu himself, and that's what Eliezer made an introduction for. You should know that I'm not Avraham Avinu. I'm only an Eliezer. I'm only a servant. I'm not Eliezer. Don't think for a second that I am Avraham Avinu. I am not Avraham Avinu. And this is something that teaches us very, very, very much. That what? That Eliezer did not want to benefit one iota of doing this chesed for Avram Avinu in finding a shidduch for Rivka Imenu. He did not want to benefit from it at all. And that's why, sometimes a person does the chesed and everything, and they say something that he benefits from and he enjoys it. No. Wrong approach. When you do a chesed and when you do a mitzvah, it has to be totally l'shem shamayim, with no benefit in it for me myself for doing it. It has to be totally for the sake of the mitzvah, or totally for the sake of the chesed. And this is a new thing that Eliezer is teaching us. First thing, Vayomar, and he said, Eved Avram Anochi, I don't want to benefit one split second for Lavan thinking that I am Avram Avinu. And this is a lesson for every chesed we do. We're doing it for the sake of the chesed. For every mitzvah we do, we're doing it for the sake of Hashem. For the sake of doing the mitzvah. Totally l'shem shamayim. You might want to call this a new concept. Maybe to people that, maybe it's a new concept. Or it's an unforgotten concept. It's an unknown obligation. The proper way to do a chesed, the proper way to do a mitzvah. Not for myself at all, not for my benefit, only for the sake of the mitzvah, for the sake of the chesed. We can see from a little story from the Vilna Gaon. Somebody bought, there was a time when esrogim were not so available. And there came along a yidala and bought a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful esrog at a time when esrogim were not to be found. And he told the Vilna Gaon, I will give you this esrog, but when you shake that esrog, I give it to you on condition that the mitzvah should be mine. When the Vilna Gaon heard that, he started to dance for joy. And his students asked him, why are you so happy? You're going to shake the esrog and you're not going to get the mitzvah. You're giving it away to the one who owns it, the one who bought it. And the Mishnah and the Vilna Gaon answered exactly as we are speaking now with Eliezer. The Vilna Gaon said, it says in Pirkei Avos, Havi Mishamshin Esarav Shaloy Almanos L'Kabel Pras. You should serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu not on condition of receiving reward. And all my life, the Vilna Gaon says, how can you fulfill this mitzvah? How can you serve Hashem knowing that you're not going to Shaloy Almanos L'Kabel Pras, not for the sake of receiving reward, because every mitzvah we get reward for. How could we possibly serve Hashem not to receive any reward? We know it's going to come. And the Vilna Gaon said, now I have the opportunity to properly serve Hashem like it says in that Mishnah. I'm serving Hashem. I know I'm not going to get the reward, and I'm serving Hashem because I want to serve Hashem. I don't want to take any reward. Nothing. Zero. And that's exactly what Eliezer was doing. I don't want to benefit for 1 second. I don't want Lavan to think that I am Avram Avinu. When you do a mitzvah, it has to be for the sake of doing the mitzvah. And just to conclude, it's a nice thing not to benefit when one does a mitzvah or when one does chesed. But the Gemara in Avodah Zorah says there's a terrible punishment. There's a terrible punishment for somebody who does a mitzvah or does a chesed and benefits from it. The Gemara says in Avodah Zorah, Yud Ches Amar Aleph. The Gemara says that the Romans sentenced Rabbi Hanina's daughter to dwell in a tent of prostitutes. And Rabbi Yochanan said, what's the reason for that? Because one time, Rabbi Hanina's daughter was walking before the great men of Rome, and they said, Kama nois merivazu. They said, Kama nois psioiseha shel rivazu. How beautiful are the steps of this maiden. Miyad digdika bepsiuseha. Immediately she paid careful attention to her steps. According to the Mesilas Yesharim in Perek Tes Zayin, they were praising this daughter of Rabbi Hanina ben Chadyan. They were praising her that she walks so tzniizdik. Sonua, they were praising her. The Romans were praising her. And as soon as she, according to the Mesilas Yesharim, that's what they were praising her about. And when she heard the praise, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed that praise. She started being even more tznuah, walking even more careful with tznius. And that's why she was punished, because she benefited from doing this mitzvah, this chesed, this mitzvah. Even though what she was doing was totally a mitzvah, she was more tznuah than they praised her for. She was even more. But she benefited. She enjoyed it. And since she enjoyed it, she was punished. A terrible punishment that she had to dwell in a tent of prostitutes because she enjoyed and had benefit from walking, even though it was a mitzvah of being more tznuah, she still benefited from it. And anybody who benefits, it's not only if somebody benefits from a mitzvah, he's not doing it right. but there's a terrible, terrible punishment for it. So the Eibishter should help that we should understand when we do a mitzvah, we do a chesed, when we do something good, it should only be l'shem shemayim. There should not be any benefit whatsoever. There should not be any benefit whatsoever for the person doing it. Totally l'shem shemayim. We should be zoiche to this, and in schus of doing mitzvahs properly, the Eibishter should help Klal Yisrael. We should be zoiche to haramas keren HaTorah, ubi as goyel tzedek, b'mheira b'yameinu. Amen.